My name is Officer Jeremiah, and today we're going to deal on the topic of unity, all right? So there's a lot happening in the world with also AI, and everybody sees AI is advancing and all that stuff. And it can be used against us if we're not making sure that we're fixing ourselves, right? Things that we do, maybe secret sins or whatever the case may be, if we do not fix those things, that can be used against us to make you disconnect from the unity, right? Because now they have things on you. Because remember, leadership always say, if you're around, you're paying attention to the class, leadership always say, make sure you're blameless. Do not give our enemies anything, any ammo or anything like that to come against us. Because what? We have the proof. Back in the 60s, right? Guess what? There was something called COINTELPRO, right? Gathering of intelligence. Things they used against us, all right? Spreading lies, spreading discord, spreading all those things to destroy the unity among our people. And they're going to do it again, all right? Now they have more tools, I would say, all right? So we're going to touch on some of those things, all right? Let me get my notes real quick. Doing a little different, trying to get my phone only. All right, so bear with me. All right. Zephaniah 2:1. Let's get that.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
All right, we read this a lot. All right, we read this a lot. It says, gather yourselves together. That statement right there alone lets you know nobody else is going to do it for you. All right, we're the ones we have to gather together, knowing that we're not a desired nation. When you look out in the world, everybody hates us. Everybody hates us. As they say, we're the only ones we got. Right? Is that how you say it? You know, I'm not good with sayings, you know. Y'all got to help me out. I'm not good with those things. Huh? Yeah, see, I messed it up. I knew I messed it up. We all we got. That's it right there. We all we got. All right? So we all we got. All right? So we got to keep that in our minds. So if we're all we got, we have to work hard to keep that unification. Right? So whatever comes against us, we have to remove it out of the way, correct what needs to be corrected so that we can keep that unity. Because our enemies want to see us divided. Our enemies want to see us fractured, as they say. All right? So we have to make sure we unify. All right? Read it again.
The book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Gather yourselves together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired.
O nation not desired. All right. Matter of fact, I didn't have this. Give me Hosea 1. Because it says, O nation not desired. All right. Israel is as the sand of the sea. Right. We got our people all across the world. Right. We are scattered through slavery. All right. Because of our disobedience to God. So we have to gather no matter where we are. And all praise to the Most High, the Spirit of Christ is on IUIC. We going across all the world. All praise for our leadership. Going across all the world. Yeah, clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. All praise to the Most High. Going across all the world, gathering the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. 12 tribes worldwide. All right? Read that.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
You see that? In all the places we were scattered and was told that we are not the children of God. Wherever we went, they had a name for us. Everything outside of our God-given name. Give me that. Deuteronomy 28:37. All right, it's 37, right? Proverb by word. Yep. Read that for me real quick. Because wherever we at, they called us all different names outside of God-given name. They call us nigger, call us speaks, call us whatever it is. Hamites use akata, right? All those different things, right? Outside of our God-given name. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
So wherever we were put in slavery, right, we become a proverb and a byword, right? A byword, being called outside of our God-given name, all right? So that's it. So with all of that being said, with all of that, we knowing that, right, we have to make sure that when we get in together, we have to protect that unity, all right? And it's on each and every one of us to do that, all right? From there, give me Deuteronomy 25:17, because I'm going to show you. So remember, I spoke about the AI and them using COINTELPRO and surveilling us every time we gather together, right? This is all through history. Our enemies always do reconnaissance, right? Watch us, know our flaws, know our weaknesses, know where we're strong at, to know how to attack, right? Even the individuals that separate from the nation to use against our nation, all right? You got Jason, right? In the Maccabees, it says there was ungodly people that hated their own people, right? So there's always those instances, all right? So we have to be mindful of that, all right? Let's go to Deuteronomy 25. Also, if you got anything, feel free to jump in, all right? Deuteronomy 25 and verse 17. Start from verse 17.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt.
As soon as we come out of Egypt, Amalek was right there. Who can tell me? I'm not going to read it. Who can tell me what Amalek did? Brothers, who can tell me what Amalek did? No, brothers? Stan, yeah, go ahead. Take a shot. Okay, so how did you say cut us off? What did that mean? So they just said it, hey, you can't pass over. What they did? Okay, anybody want to help him out? Go ahead. Brother, Jared, go ahead. Okay. No, we're talking specifically in this instance, what they did. Entering the land. But how do they do it? Because he said they cut us off. What does that mean? What did they do? You know? No, okay, all right, we're going to read it. Read verse 17 again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25 and verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee, by the way, when you were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way.
Met thee by the way, like you brothers been saying, met thee by the way. We're coming. Go ahead.
And smote the hindmost of thee.
I said I smote the hindmost, the back part, right? So the back part. Read.
Even all that were feeble behind thee.
So all our elderly, all of those, the young, all that. So that's what they chose, right? That's where they attacked us, all right? Not the front part. They attacked us from the behind. All right, go ahead.
When thou was faint and weary.
And when we was faint and weary, we were walking, we thirsty, we hungry, the heat burning. The Florida sun been crazy these past months. I ain't gonna lie to you. Right? This Florida sun been crazy, right? But remember the heat, all those conditions, we were faint, weary, and that's when they chose to attack. Go ahead.
And he feared not God.
And he feared not God, right? Go ahead, read on.
Verse 19. Therefore it shall be, when the Lord thy God has given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven, thou shalt not forget it.
And people like to say, God forget. God said, I ain't going to don't forget it. All right, because of what they attacked us. They attacked us. All right, pull that map up. Pull that map up. All right, I want you to put yourself in that position. You're walking, you're going through, get to the land, because what they, Exodus 17 and 8. Exodus 17 and 8. Because they attacked us at Rephidim. All right, Rephidim. All right, that's when Joshua smoked them. All right, read it in Exodus 17. Let's go to Exodus 17, because all this right here, all right, we're going to get it. All this right here, right, we're going to read Amalek was here, right? So when we was walking, imagine us walking, going, and all that stuff, they're looking at us. They're observing us. How would they know that who faint and weary? How would they know that, hey, the back part, they got the feeble, right? They was watching us. They was watching us, right? That they made the strategic, wicked plot to do what they did. You understand? So they was observing and watching us, all right? Read Exodus 17 and 8. You had some? All right, go ahead. Exodus 17 and 8.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 8. Mm-hmm. Then came Amalek and fought with Israel in Rephidim.
Mm-hmm, in Rephidim. All right, like the map. Avon, put up the map. Put up the map. You ain't got to show me. Put up the map. Mm-hmm. That's where they attacked us. Rephidim right there. Right, read on.
And Moses said unto Joshua, choose us out men and go out, fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill.
Moses says he's going to stand on the top of the hill and do what?
With the rod of God in my hand.
Uh-huh.
So Joshua did as Moses had said to him, and fought with Amalek. And Moses, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. And it came to pass, when Moses held up his hand, that Israel prevailed. And when he let down his hand, Amalek prevailed.
You just imagine that scene. Moses had his hand up and Israel was, I got to choose my words carefully, give me some words, man. Give me some. I don't want to say what I want to say, but Israel was beating them. I don't want to use those type of words, right? But Israel was kicking their behind. There you go. See, I'm going. See, I'm getting better. I'm getting better using phrases. I'm getting better, right? Israel was kicking their behind. All right. So read on.
Verse 12. But Moses' hands were heavy, and they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat thereon. And Aaron and Hur stayed up his hands, the one on the one side and the other on the other side. And his hands were steady until the going down of the sun.
So this was a long battle. All right, go ahead.
And Joshua discomfited Amalek,
kicking their behind. Go ahead.
And his people with the edge of the sword.
They thought they was going to attack and win. Joshua took care of them, right? Mosiah was fighting with us, right? So our enemies cannot prevail with us. And we're going, as we go on, our enemies cannot prevail against us when we got God on our side, right? But we got to make sure that we are striving to purge ourselves, all right? Striving to purge ourselves, all right? From there, go to 1 Samuel 15 and 7. 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 7. Because remember, the Lord said, now, don't forget it, what they did. Don't forget what they did, right? They was out there looking at us, observing us, knowing when we wearied, knowing when we hungry, knowing where the feeble and the weak is, and like, yeah, let's do it now. Let's go and attack them now. All right, read on.
The book of 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 7. And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur.
So, hold on, read it again. Read that part again.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur. That is over against Egypt.
Look at the map right there. Put the map up there. Right? So there was in that area too. That Saul was kicking it behind too. Right? Shur right there. right? And that's where they met us, right down by shore. They fought us in Rephidim, right? Not too far from shore. All right, read on.
And he took Agag, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword.
Damn, we messed up, man. Benjamin messed up, man. Benjamin messed up. Left Agag alive, man. All right, so but I read that to show you they was in that area, right? From all the way on the right side, as we're gonna read, all the way to shore, right? So they fought us right there in Rephidim. All right, so, and that's where Saul was fighting all the way from shore around that area. All right, go to 1 Samuel chapter 27. 1 Samuel chapter 27. And let me see. Verse 8.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 27 and verse 8. And David and his men went up and invaded the Geshurites and the Gezerites and the Amalekites, for those nations were of old, the inhabitants of the land.
So those nations of old, the inhabitants of the land. All right, the inhabitants of the land. Read on.
As thou goest to shore.
As thou goest to shore. So when we was walking, guess what? They was right there. That's what they was able to attack us, and that's what they was able to see, right? Go ahead, read on.
Even unto the land of Egypt.
You see that? Even to the land of Egypt, all right? So they was in that area. So our enemies is always, as we go on in the class, remember this war, what did God say about this war between us and Amalek? Some brother. Anybody? Go ahead. Forever. You think they forgot? No, they ain't forgot, right? So God, what did God tell us? Forget? God did not tell us to forget, right? So we have to be circumspect, because now as we're gonna play the video, they understand that the war has changed. Because when we're reading, these were like physical battles, right? We understand in the future they're gonna come against us, put hands on us, imprison us, and all that stuff, right? Well, right now they're making the field to where the war is basically cyber, right? Because they like you heard about them getting TikTok, Chat GPT. You can't ask Chat GPT about Israelites because they're going to formulate it to where it fits Amalek, right? So anybody looking up information on the Jews and whatnot, guess what? It's going to now formulate to fit their narrative, right? So they're changing all of those things, all right? Where I had you holding? 1 Samuel 27 and 8. Okay, we read that. All right, go to Judith now. Judith. So we get that. Amalek was right there in that area, looking at us, observing us, all right, and attacked us, all right, All right, Judith chapter 5. Hold on, I ain't there yet. Judith chapter 5, start from verse 1.
The book of Judith, chapter 5 and verse 1. Then was it declared to Holofernes, the chief captain of the army of Ashur, that the children of Israel had prepared for war, and had shut up the passages of the hill country, and had fortified all the tops of the high hills.
You're going to read to verse 5, and then we're going to jump. All right, go ahead.
And had laid impediments in the Champagne's country, wherewith he was very angry, and called all the princes of Moab, and the captains of Ammon, and all the governors of the sea coast.
Now, I want you to stop right there, right? Because you might be asking, why did he go for Ammon? Why did he go for Moab? Why those two specific? Right? We go make sure you have the next map ready. All right, go ahead. Read on.
Verse 3.
And then it says, what it says there? It says, and all the governors of the sea coast. All right, go ahead. Read on.
And he said unto them, tell me now, ye sons of Canaan, who this people is, that dwelleth in the hill country, and what are the cities that they inhabit?
Tell me about these people. Tell me their history. Go over their history. Tell me, because remember, we're reading, they're finna attack, right? Israel, right? So before you attack, they're trying to strategize. Tell me about the history. Tell me about these people, right? Give me something about them. Give me reconnaissance. Give me your knowledge of their history, right? Go ahead, read on.
And what is the multitude of their army?
What I'm proving is the nation is always watching us, all right? It's always watching us. Read that part again.
And what is the multitude of their army?
Uh-huh.
And wherein is their power and strength?
Mm-hmm.
And what king is set over them, or captain of their army?
Mm-hmm.
And
so tell me about their military. Tell me about their military. All right? Tell me about their military. Go ahead. Read on.
And why have they determined not to come and meet me?
Read that part again. Read the part again.
And why have they determined not to come and meet me?
But Israel said, listen, we ain't coming to meet you nowhere. You understand, right? You're trying to attack us, try to destroy our nation. You want to meet with us. Listen, we're not meeting you nowhere. Go ahead.
More than all the inhabitants of the west.
Uh-huh.
Then said Achor, the captain of all the sons of Ammon.
Then said Achor, the captain of all the sons of Ammon. All the sons of Ammon. Read on.
Let my Lord now hear a word from the mouth of thy servant.
You're like, listen, man. Listen, open your ears. Let me tell you something about these people, right? Go ahead.
And I will declare unto thee the truth concerning this people, which dwelleth near thee, and inhabiteth the hill countries. And there shall no lie come out of the mouth of thy servant.
So whatever you finna say, you finna all truth. This is historical, documented facts that I know about Achor, that's him, know about these people, right? Go ahead, read on. I said 5, but read on.
This people are descended of the Chaldeans, and they sojourned heretofore in Mesopotamia, because they would not follow the gods of their fathers, which were in the land of Chaldea. For they left the way of their ancestors and worshiped the God of heaven, the God whom they knew. So they cast them out from the face of their gods, and they fled into Mesopotamia.
So you even know about the laws and the God we serve. You even know about that. Go ahead.
And sojourned there many days. Then their God commanded them to depart from the place where they sojourned, and to go into the land of Canaan, where they dwelt, and were increased with gold and silver, and with very much cattle. But when a famine covered all the land of Canaan, they went down into Egypt and sojourned there.
You even know about us when we went into Egypt during the famine. Even know that we came out with riches when we spoiled the Egyptians. You even know about that. Go ahead.
While they were nourished and became there a great multitude, so that one could not number their nation.
You see that, because remember in Exodus, remember when we multiplied and there arose a new king, and they said let's deal wisely with them, right? So you even know about that history. Go ahead.
Therefore the king of Egypt rose up against them and dealt subtly with them, and brought them low with laboring in brick, and made them slaves.
Made us serve with rigor, right? Go ahead.
Then they cried unto their God, and he smote all the land of Egypt with incurable plagues, so the Egyptians cast them out of their sight.
Where you at? Where you at?
Verse 13.
Verse 13. All right, jump to verse 17.
Verse 17. And whilst they sinned not before their God, they prospered, because the God had that hateth iniquity was with them.
So he knows about that. He knows about history. He knows that when we do not sin, our God will fight for us. Because remember, this is a military discussion they're having, right? Anophanes is asking, should we attack? How we attack? Let me know about these people and their history, right? And it says the Achor, the captain of all the sons of Ammon. All right? So pull up the map. Zoom in a little bit. Zoom, go down. Where do you see Ammon at? Next door neighbors. Right, next door neighbors. And then you got Moab in the mix there, and you got Edom in the mix, right? So there was right there too. All right, there was right there, next to us. All right, next to us right there. All right, read on.
Verse 18. But when they departed from the way which he appointed them, they were destroyed in many battles very sore, and were led captives into a land that was not theirs. And the temple of their God was cast to the ground, and their cities were taken by the enemies. But now are they returned to their God.
Right, so they've returned to their God. Read. Meaning they're keeping the commandments, doing what God said. Read.
And are come up from the places where they were scattered, and have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is, and are seated in the hill country, for it was desolate. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their God, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest their Lord defend them, and their God be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world.
You see that? So our enemies, the other nations, know our history. They know, they look, and they, like the Bible said, give me that in Psalm. They make a diligent search. Yes, sir. You got it. You want to do it now? Yeah, go ahead.
Going with the same vein, you got Ezra 4? You got Ezra 4:15?
No.
Okay. Going with the same thing, we just read in Judith, right? That our enemies have record of everything. That's why they say a lot of Alicia brought out a lot of these history, the upper echelon, right? If I'm saying it correctly, these people have our records. So they know who they got in captives and what's the history, right? So as an example, give me Ezra 4, start at 11. Going the same thing as Judith. Because how did they know this is their weakness? Because they had it written down. Through all the history from Egypt all the way up, they had everything written down. So they wasn't just making that up. They knew, hey, listen, we done seen them fall. We done saw when they was with Joshua. We done saw them with the judges. Every time they went against them, they was able to get conquered them. That's how they know. They seen it. They wrote it down. But let me get that. Ezra chapter 4, start at 11. This is a copy of our enemies sending into the king of Artaxerxes at the time to try to stop us from building. Read.
The book of Ezra, chapter 4 and verse 11. This is the copy of the letter that they sent unto him, even unto Artaxerxes, the king.
Go ahead.
Thy servants, the men on this side the river,
Right, go
and
ahead.
at such a time.
Go ahead.
Be it known unto the king that the Jews which came up from thee to us are come unto Jerusalem, building the rebellious and the bad city.
Which is going to go more when you're going, right? So now they started, hey, listen, they're telling leadership, because that's what they try to do. They try to put those bad or negative views. Hey, listen, these people back here, they started set up to be a rebellious people, right? That's what they do for us. They start putting in the news, in the media. Hey, listen, all our good works, they make it as evil. They saying these people right here, they're trying to make an army to go against America or go against the government, knowing that ain't it. Because the Bible says, be at peace and obey the laws of the land, right? Go ahead.
And have set up the walls thereof.
Go ahead.
And joined the foundations.
Jump to 15. Look what he tells the king what to do. Verse 15.
Verse 15. That search may be made in the book of the records of thy fathers.
In the books of thy fathers. So all their kings had records of everything that's going on. He said, listen, you see what's going on? He said, I implore you to go tell your men to look at all the records about these people right here. Go ahead.
So shalt thou find in the book of the records, and know that this city is a rebellious city, and hurtful unto kings and provinces.
You see? So the same thing at Judith. Hey, listen, when you check in the records, you're going to see, any times these people were left alone and they started building up, they started giving everybody hell. So they're trying to prevent that because they know if they get in power, what happens? Now they got to fall under their line, right? Go ahead, finish it off.
and that they have moved sedition within the same of old times.
Old times, right? The records. Go ahead.
For which cause was this city destroyed?
So it goes with what you're bringing out, right? That these people, because we look at the people that's the normal, whatever like that, they ignorant. They don't know nothing. Not knowing the people that are on top, they have all these things right here. There's no way they can build an empire without the information that they bring from prior. You don't just build from nothing. They kept building from the information. That's what leadership brings out. This is a combination of all the kings of back there, because they have all the records of the past, and they start utilizing it in this one. So I just wanted to bring that out, going with what you're saying.
That's an excellent point. Excellent point. And they keeping all them records because they know they're gonna die, right? And pass on. But guess what? All them books, all them records, guess who we go to? Their sons, their daughters, right? So it keeps passing down. So it shows. So when their sons and their daughters read, oh, wait a minute, we got to keep them in sin so we can stay on top, so that our kingdom can continue, right? So that's what they do. All right, that's what they do. All right, and they did it back then. You think we're rebuilding the spiritual house, right? Not physical, right? With the spiritual house. You think they're not watching? You think they're not surveilling? You think they're not trying to find cracks? You think they're not searching out diligently and seeing who is not with the unity and trying to build unity and in their secret sin or separating from the body? All right? They're making diligent inquisition, diligent search. Go ahead, read that Psalm.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Right. They search out iniquities. They accomplish. It didn't say that maybe they're going to accomplish. It says they accomplish. Pull up the definition of accomplish. Pull up the definition of accomplish. That means they set out to do it and they make sure it is done. All right? All right. It says accomplish. It says to complete as time or distance. To bring to an issue of full success. To effect, to perform, to execute fully, to fulfill. So when they set out to do all of these things, to set up, to gather information, or to gather things that are records and see how to attack us, how to keep us in sin, guess what? The Bible says, read it again.
The book of Psalms, chapter 64 and verse 6. They search out iniquities.
So they're going to search it out. That's why we got to be blameless, brothers and sisters. That's why we got to be blameless, because they don't sleep. They don't sleep. All right, read on.
They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
All right. So things that you may not think, they're thinking 10 steps ahead. They're thinking way in the future. All right. Going back to the books and the records they got. They think about their children, children's children. Right. Because they think their house is going to continue forever. All right. From there, give me the image number 3 with Edgar Hoover. All right, this is back the Black Panther. All right. As today we're unifying under the banner of Christ, right? And you think that these people are not paying attention. You might think COINTELPRO has died. You may think surveillance of the Israelites have died. Now, the Black Panthers, those were our people. They were Israelites, right? They may not have had the scriptures, right? But they were fighting for the unification of our people, right? They were making sure our people was good, was straight, right? And even then, they attacked and tried to divide. Now we got the greatest weapon on the face of the planet with the right understanding. You think they're not watching? You think they're not paying attention? God says he's going to set us in order before their eyes. So if they're before their eyes, therefore they're looking, they're seeing. You understand? Right? They look at us to see where they are in prophecy. Revelation tell you that. I didn't have this. Give me Revelation. We're going to go back to the picture, but read that Revelation real quick. 11. I might get it backwards. It might be 8 and 11, but I think it's 11 and 8.
Yeah. The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
This place is Sodom and Egypt, right? Go ahead.
Where also our Lord was crucified.
And they gave you Cesar Borgia. They gave us Cesar Borgia. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 9. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half.
Jump to 11.
Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them.
The spirit of, what it says, the spirit of life from God entered into them. We got the Holy Spirit. Go ahead, read on.
And they stood upon their feet.
And they stood upon their feet. Read.
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
With a great fear, because guess what? There's why hey, we got these Israelites destroyed. They can't get back. They can't rise up. We got them destroyed. They'll never rise again. Right? Because it says that we stood on feet because we was laying down. Give me that in Isaiah. Is it Isaiah 52? Lay thy body as the ground. 51? Yeah, you're right. Isaiah 51, verse 23.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 23. But I will put it into the hand of them that afflict thee.
That's the cup, right? The cup of trembling, right? All the things that we've been, the nation's going to get that. All the things we've been through, the nation's going to get that. Read on.
Which have said to thy soul, bow down.
Bow down.
That we may go over.
That they may go over. Read.
And thou hast laid thy body as the ground.
So where was we at? On the ground. On the ground. Read.
And as the street to them that went over.
Right. And as the street to them that went over. They was walking all over us. Right? They was walking all over us. Now go back to Revelation now. Read that part again. Read 11 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified.
11.
Verse 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from God entered into them. And they stood upon their feet.
And they stood upon their feet. We got up off the ground. Read.
And great fear fell upon them which saw them.
They're like, oh man, we in trouble now. Right? Everything they planned, they spent billions of dollars trying to keep our identity from us, keep it hidden from us. They come together, confederate, to put the media, put the school system, put everything set up to keep us from who we are. And guess what? It's failed. We're coming back to who we really are because you can't fight God. We're the only nation that got the one true God. You understand? All right? Give me that. Pull up the image. Pull up the image. All right. This is J. Edgar Hoover, right? He says, when J. Edgar Hoover was asked what, in his opinion, was the single greatest threat to the United States of America, he responded, Negro unity. Negro, and that was back then, right? Now they see the Israelites coming together. Give me that in Psalm 50. Set them in order. (21)
The book of Psalms, chapter 50 and verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silence. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such in one as thyself.
Because he saw us on the ground. He saw us, nobody fighting for us, right? He's ruling, right? He got us in captivity. Everything he's doing, he's just getting away with. He's not been judged for nothing he has done, right? So he think God white like him, right? Read on.
But I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
All right. So, and set them in order before that. That's you brothers. You brothers. Right? You brothers going out and teaching. You brothers in the formation. They're seeing that. Guess what? The Bible says that they're afraid. When they see us, they are afraid because their time is coming to an end. All right? All praise to the Most High for that. I hope, yeah, clap it. Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired of captivity. Jeez. Go to the next image. I know what number it is here. The FBI King suicide letter. All right. So this right here. All right. Remember, as we're gathering together, as we're building that unity, building that unity among each other, right? Guess what? Our enemies is watching to see any cracks, right? Any imperfections. All right. To exploit. All right. Watch this. Read this. Can you read it? Or can you see? Nah, you can't see. You good? You sure? All right.
This is the FBI King suicide letter of 1964.
All right. So remember, right? You had MLK, and then you also had Malcolm X, right? So this is the things that they was doing to Martin Luther. All right. Go ahead. Read on.
In November 1964, an anonymous package was delivered to Martin Luther King Jr. home, containing a typewritten letter and a reel-to-reel audio tape.
That's the technology they had back then, right? They said a typewritten letter. Y'all ever typed on the what you call it, typewriters, right? They're making all that loud noise and stuff, right? Sometimes you mess up, you got to rip the whole page, start all over again, right? Y'all might wonder why I know that, all right? I ain't going to tell y'all why. Read on.
The letter, later called the FBI King suicide letter or blackmail package,
Go ahead.
was written in a tone of personal insult and moral condemnation, accusing King of being a colossal fraud and evil, vicious. It urged him
to try to tear him down, right? Tried to tear him down. All right, go ahead.
It urged him to end his life within 34 days to prevent the tapes from being made public.
Now, you might ask why I brought this out. We're going to deal with it later in the class, but remember the surveillance of the nation as we unify. And remember, our enemies do not want to see us unify, so they're going to use anything against us. That's why, again, we have to be blameless, because there may be some that have things that they're doing that they're not supposed to be doing, right? And our enemies is watching. And for fear of going public, you might say to hell with the unity. I'm out of here, right? Because you do not want them to go public with it, right? Because they're watching, they're gathering information, they're building profiles, all right? So all you men understand that. You going out to the street teaching and all that, right? You make sure that you're blameless. All right? Make sure you blame, because they're watching, they're building profiles. Go ahead.
That's why Christ says, be not a hypocrite. When you go teach, make sure your slate is clean so you don't get caught out there, right? It's not saying you're not going to have something because we're all repent. Be like, you just said, but I repented.
Yes.
It's a different thing. You still dabbling in all that after the truth. Christ warned us, says, listen, don't be a hypocrite, because when it comes in and they bite you, now you have no excuse. So the Lord warned us about that.
Yeah. All praises. That's right. That's right. Go to the next image. All right. So we saw they used the typewriter, right? We saw they used the reel-to-reel tapes, right? So they had audio tapes, right? They have now the phone calls. Go ahead. This is just the technology I'm saying they're using back then. All right. Go ahead.
The phone calls. Agents made anonymous phone calls spreading rumors, planting seeds of doubt, and whispering lies to create suspicion, what they called bad jacketing, so that leaders would think their own brothers were informants.
So they will be making phone calls, right, and try to sow discord, right? Try to sow discord. You would think, right, that somebody will say, hey, man, who are you? I never heard your voice before, right? who are you? But guess what? If they're making calls and stuff, they had information. So somebody was inside giving them information. So when they're talking to others, they may mention something that may sound correct, and then be like, wait a minute, that might be true, right? But their whole goal was to sow discord, to destroy the unity among our people back then. Y'all follow? All praises, all praises. From there, give me Psalm 37 and 32. Psalm 37, 32. So these are the technologies that was using back then. You had that Malcolm thing? You wanna? Yes, it's okay. You want to bring it now? Okay.
Let me get the one where it says the FBI want to talk to Malcolm X. In this video, you're going to see it's a small clip. It's not long. The FBI, when Malcolm got, put out the Nation of Islam for a short period of time, right? They tried to utilize that moment to be like, all right, maybe we could get him now, and he could turn on his people, right? So you got that? Because like it's kind of go with what you're saying. They're trying to see who's disgruntled, who's the weak link, so they can attack it and get in. That's how majority of our forefathers' movement broke, because they found that way in, and then they started disrupting everything. So this is what they try to do right here. Go ahead.
Home in Queens and made some fascinating overtures. Now, it just so happens that Malcolm had installed a hidden microphone in his living room and had taped the conversation. And fortuitously, I acquired that recording.
This is a clip from Gil Noble's.
Hold up, because I've seen this. In fact, I don't remember. They pulled up to his house. You heard what he said? He said he had the microphone hooked up in his living room. They pulled up to the house. Go ahead.
1983, Like It Is, special report, the covert war against Malcolm X. What you're about to hear is a recording Malcolm X made himself, a hidden microphone he had installed under his own couch in his Queens living room. His aide, Earl Grant,
See if you
rigged
could
it up
just jump to the one that's already started. Can you do that? If not, then you just keep playing. All right, go ahead. That's fine then. Go ahead.
Specifically because Malcolm knew he'd get visitors he needed on record. This particular tape was made during Malcolm's 90-day suspension from the Nation of Islam in early 1964, right after his "chickens coming home to roost" comment about JFK's assassination. While he was silenced and isolated from Elijah Muhammad's organization, 2 FBI agents showed up at his front door and tried to recruit him as an informant.
We would be, I'm sure I know, interested in having you help us out.
Help you out to do what?
Well, what we're interested in are the people who belong, the names, the members, and the teachings, the plans, the programs. What we really want are the names of all those who belong, the names.
Now, I know you got something, man. I know. Now imagine you disgruntled and you got hatred, you got malice, all that, and then they pull up at your crib asking you those questions. Give me the names, man. Give me. You see, they put you out, man. You see this, you see that. Guess what? If you have those spirits, you're not working on purging. Guess what? You're gonna give the names. You're gonna give the locations. You're gonna be a part of disrupting that unity. All right, go ahead.
So, as you can see, that's what I'm saying. They came in and they said, "We just want to know what you teach." First of all, you already know what we teaching. You know what we teaching.
You see the tapes. You listen to the audio. Why you asking me where the names at? Right. What you teaching? You know. But because they want him to betray his people. And then they're going to use that and say, see?
There you go.
He betrayed his people. Now everybody, that affects everybody. Go ahead.
Right. Remember his position. People was looking up to him. Right. So they wasn't just picking any just random member not doing nothing. No, they said, listen, oh, that's the dude right there. If we able to flip him, we knocking the whole thing down. So they waited while he's like, all right, he must be angry or whatever. So I said, just give us some names, give us some stuff that they already have. But they say if we could just get that, guess what? They're able to get more and more and more and dig. So they want to start off with simple things. But look how he responded. Keep playing.
Identification.
I don't even know.
You keep no records?
That's not my job. I'm just a preacher.
Yeah. but somebody up there keeps the record.
I don't know who. I don't have any knowledge of those kinds of things. With all these other responsibilities I've had, it'd be difficult for me to worry about names. Plus, you would insult my intelligence. You in fact, no, you would insult your own, because it would mean that your own intelligence isn't heavy enough to weigh me and know in advance what I'm going to say when you ask that question.
Come on. See what I said? He said, listen, you insulted. You don't think, because he knows, he said, you got your people. They know what I'm about. They know how I'm going to respond. So you're going to come over here acting like you don't know how I'm going to respond to you? You think I'm going to be like, yeah, sure, I got you. You've been watching me. You know how I get down. But they have to test it. They have to test out. Even though he said, we know how he rose, but we still got to test it during this situation, because this is a pivotal time. So I said, let me at least try it. But even he knows, he's like, bro, you know how I get down. But that kind of go with, this the spirit we're going to have. Even when we get demoted, we get in trouble, we get whatever it might be, because we get it, we do our own sins or whatever it might be. Even in that moment where we feel weak and frustrated, we still got to be like, bro, I'm not turning. You know how I get down. I'm not turning on my people. That's the mindset we got to have. And he, he has some learning, but we even much more, right? So I wanted to show that, because it goes with what you're saying. When these things happen, people will come after you. It might not be the FBI, but it might be in different levels that is going to put us asleep, right? Because the FBI, we're going to have our guard up. You come to my suit in my house, I'm going to have my guard up. It might be a regular person. You might think it's a nobody. Your guard is down. We can never be like that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, can I get a scripture? Let me get Sirach 11. Sirach 11. Let me get the verse real quick. Right, Sirach 11. Y'all bear with me. And I got to get it real quick. This is why the Lord says, be ye separate and be mindful who you keep around, who you hang around with, right? Sirach 11 and 29, and give me verse 34, right? Remember, this is the Lord's house, right? Us as a body, the Lord's house. So this goes with your personal house and your congregation, right? Let me get that. Sirach 11 and verse 29.
The book of Sirach, chapter 11 and verse 29. Bring not every man into thine house.
So don't that's why when you think we have these things in security, to make sure we're not just letting anybody in. We always keeping an eye out. Because if there's any disruption, any doctrines or whatever, guess what? We're kicking you out. If you're able to make it in, right? So it's saying, listen, don't bring everybody into your house. Got to be mindful, right? Who you open up to. Go ahead.
For the deceitful man hath many trains.
Many trains, many tricks, right? Many ways to try to bring in, what's the word? Heresies, right? Read it one more time and then jump to verse 34.
Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains.
Right? That's why a lot of, like with the Black Panthers, AIM, a lot of those movement, what they were doing, they was allowing the other nation to come in, right? And guess what they were doing? They were plotting and they destroyed it from inside. Same thing happened biblically in certain times. We were letting them in. That's why I said, no, deal with each other. Gather yourself, O nation. You talk about one nation, not desire. Don't bring everybody in, right? Jump to the next verse, 34.
Verse 34. Receive a stranger into thine house.
So you want to start bringing them into your congregation, into your life and all that. Go ahead.
And he will disturb thee.
He will disturb thee.
And turn thee out of thine own.
That's what they're trying to do, which they did. Because that's why that organization ain't even the way it used to be anyway. But guess what they did? They tried to use him to utilize, to get inside the house and get in intel, right? That's what we got to be mindful. How do we deal with the social media? Because now they don't have to knock on your house.
Sisters.
They don't have to knock on your house. They can find all those things through online.
I'm glad you said that. Back then you did, but now we just give everything. We've given where we at, what we eating, what our old calendar schedule, all of that information. We just give it freely. Pin your location, all that. All right. Be mindful. Be mindful. That was it. Okay. All right. Where we at? Give me Psalm 37 and verse 32.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 32. The wicked watcheth the righteous.
So you think that they're not watching? What the Bible just said?
The wicked watcheth the righteous.
They watching. They watching. Go ahead.
And seeketh to slay him.
Right. They're seeking to overthrow you, seeking to overthrow you, and ultimately destroy you spiritually. All right. Give me verse 12. Read verse 12. Because why they watching? Why they watching? Read verse 12.
Verse 12. The wicked plotteth against the just.
They're watching and plotting. Plotting takes careful consideration. Plotting takes looking and making strategic moves. No, we're not going to go left. We're going to go right. We're going to go to this person because of this. Plotting takes diligence, right? So they're watching in order to plot their attacks, all right? Just like they did back in the old, right? We read in Judith, right? And we read in Exodus 17, right? They are plotting to attack us, right? All right. I know you had that. You had that secret plots. Secret plots. I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah. Give me that secret plots. Ezra 16. Let's read that real quick. Because today they use their media. They use their technology to spread propaganda, right? To separate us, all right? Read that.
You want 2nd Esdras chapter 16?
Yes, sir.
2nd Esdras chapter 16 and what verse, officer?
Where did it say that? Yeah. 5. Okay, all right. My bad.
5.
First Ezra's 5. All right. Read that.
The book of 1st Esdras, chapter 5 and verse 22.
70.
Verse 70. All right. Then Zerubbabel and Jesus.
No. Start from 72.
Verse 72. But the heathen of the land, lying heavy upon the inhabitants of Judea and holding them straight, hindered their building.
That's what their all end goal is to hinder the building, hinder the unification of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, to stop the unity. Read.
And by their secret plots.
And by their what?
And by their secret plots.
So you don't see these plots. They're doing it in the secret, right? They're doing it in the dark. Go ahead.
And popular persuasion.
And that's how they use their media and put it out. Go ahead.
And commotions.
And guess what? An example of that is their hate group, right? They put us at number 3 on the SPLC, right? So a lot of our people, when they see that, they're like, what? They on the hate group? Right? Guess what? That turns our people away, right? And saying, oh, I don't want to be associated with them because they're on the hate group. The SPLC said it, right? And we have done nothing of the sort. We up there with KKK that burned and lynched our people. All this manner of evil. Made ornaments, bags and stuff from our skin. All of that. But we on that list with them. These people are crazy. Read.
They hindered the finishing of the building all the time that King Cyrus lived. So they were hindered from building for the space of 2 years.
All right.
Until the reign of Darius.
All right. See that? So that's what they use. Their secret plots and popular persuasions. They use their media. They use their technology to do it. All right. Their technology to do it. All right. From there, let's go into the tools they use now. The tools they use. All right, go pull up the next image. Why data is called the new gold. Because we made mention of, sisters. Y'all the ones majority of the times be posting everything on social media, right? I don't see too many brothers doing that, all right? But data is the new gold, right? Right, as gold was, valuable, right? Data is that new gold, meaning that they could cater things to you or build a profile on you to see where they can either manipulate you or use your weaknesses. All right? Read that.
Why data is called the new gold. The phrase data is the new gold is a metaphor reflecting how data has become the most valuable and sought after resource in the 21st century, surpassing traditional commodities like gold and oil in strategic importance.
Right. And guess what? Other companies can buy your information. For instance, we on Facebook, we use it for the truth. That's why leadership always say use it for the truth, right? Post the classes, post the events with the uni events and stuff like the images that you may have or stuff like that. Repost the school's account posts, right? Because what they do is that Facebook can also sell your information to other companies, right? So it's not just Facebook collecting your data. They can give it to other companies as well, all right? That's why it's the new gold. Read.
Historical context. Throughout history, civilizations have been built on scarce, high-value resources, salt, spices, gold, and later oil that fueled economies, wars, and empires. In the digital age,
which we are in right now, go ahead.
Data has emerged as the new cornerstone of economic power. Unlike gold, which is finite and mined.
So finite and mined, you got to do a lot of work to get a little piece of gold out of that dirt, right? And guess what? They use our people in the Congo and these places to do that work, right? But you have to do a lot of work to just get that little bit of gold. Read on.
Data is generated at an unprecedented rate from social media.
From where?
From social media.
From social media.
IoT devices, GPS, and transactions.
And transactions, read.
However, like gold, its value only emerges after it is collected.
So they don't know how valuable the information is as they're getting it. Read.
After it is collected, refined.
No, they got to build a profile. Read.
And processed.
How we can use this data to our advantage.
Into actionable insights.
What can I use this data for? Right? What can I use this data for? All right? So that's what they're using the data for, right? That's what they're using the data for. All right? And no, not posting these messages that, people say, oh, I do not authorize Facebook to not use my information for this. No. The minute you downloaded the app and you signed in and you clicked agree to the terms of agreement, guess what? They got access to your stuff. They got access to the information that you give. All right? So that doesn't stop Facebook from doing nothing. Yeah, it's a false sense of security. All right? No, that doesn't work. All right? So as a nation not desire, war, seen and unseen, is waged against us every day. All right? Every day. All right? Like our enemies don't sleep. Right? Matter of fact, give me that in Micah 2. They always thinking about how to plot and come against us to destroy that unity. And they use the tools that they have. All right. Remember, back then it was physical. Today it's digital. It's trying to change the minds of our people. Because guess what? We're fighting for the minds of our people. That's where it says your boys is, right? And the minds of people. Our people, you tell them, you on the street, you tell them, you read the scripture. Jesus Christ is a black man. Revelation 1:14, Daniel 10. They'll be like, nah, I can't see that. I can't accept that. He got to be white. Every image that I've seen is white. You reading one scripture, it cannot be. You telling me billions of people is wrong? That's what goes on in their mind. Even though you're reading out the Bible that they say they follow and they believe, and their religion professes to believe. Right? So it's here. The battle is here. Right? What I had you? Micah. I didn't have you holding anything. Micah, yes, Micah. Yep, Micah.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds.
And work evil upon their bed. We go in bed, we trying to sleep. Because we remember the class that Deacon brought out. That thing shocked me. They did the math and study. We read about diligent inquisition. They did the math and study to make sure we only got 2 days to rest. Now I read it. If I could find it, if y'all could find it, I was reading an article. Now people are using their vacation time just to sleep because they've been working so much, right? And they're just using. Hey, listen, man, I'm gonna take 2 days off, and you're like, "What you doing? You going anywhere?" Nah, man, I'm just going to bed and sleep, catch up on sleep. That's what people are using their vacation for. Go ahead.
It's funny because you said that, because I'll do that.
See?
I literally I'll tell myself, hey, listen, I'm coming in late tomorrow. I'm like, what? I don't have an appointment. I just want to sleep in.
Yeah.
That's it. I just want 2-3 more hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Because I do the same thing.
Yeah. That's what it is. So when we try and sleep, just catch up on some rest, this is what they're doing. Read it from the top again.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it.
So they're up trying to come up with the plan how to destroy our people, right? So when the sun come up, they're like, yeah, I got it now. We're going to do this, this, and this. We're going to make sure this is in the school so we can funnel them from the school to the prison. We're going to make sure on the media, in the music videos, we talk about ratchet and thoughts and calling them bees, the women bees. We're going to make sure the men treat the women and don't bad and don't marry them. We're going to put that imagery out there. That going to work. That's what they're thinking of. While we just trying to catch up on some sleep. Right? You find it? Yeah, this is right here. It says Americans are using PTO to sleep, not for vacation. All right? A large number of Americans are using PTO to sleep rather than take a vacation, according to a new report. All right? So that's all I wanted on that. But yeah, that's the article right there. That's what we are using right now. PTO to just, wait a minute, it says a Merry Sleep, put it back up, a Merry Sleep survey of more than 1,200 Americans revealed that 37% used vacation days in the past year just to rest. Just to rest, right? So they did all the diligent inquisition. They come up with the formula just so we can have 2 days just to rest. Yes.
That's what the scripture says. Don't get I know I'm butchering it. It says this ain't your rest.
Right. Let's get that. 10, verse 10.
The book of Micah, chapter 2 and verse 10.
Yeah.
Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest.
You see that? Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. We got to stop thinking this is home. This place is a punishment. This place is hell. You understand? We in captivity. Go ahead, read on.
Because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction.
Even with a sore destruction, all right? So we cannot become complacent. We cannot become complacent, all right? Give me that Ephesians 6 and 12, because these people are playing on a high level, right? They're playing on a high level, Satan. All right, they're doing things in the dark and secret, plotting things for generations to come that affect you, your children, and your children's children. All right? Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6 and verse 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
This is not a physical fight. This is not a physical war. Go ahead.
But against principalities.
Against principalities.
Against powers. Against the rulers of the darkness of this world.
Against the rulers of the darkness of this world. All right, read.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against spiritual wickedness in high places. We're not fighting flesh and blood. We're not fighting. This man, Edom, he's dealing with Satan. right? He's dealing with Satan. Go ahead, read on.
Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God.
We got to take the whole armor of God because this is a war. All right, the war has not stopped. Go ahead.
That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day.
In the evil day, read.
And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth.
Girt about with truth, read. What's the truth, brothers? I don't like that. What's the truth, brothers? All right, all praises. Go ahead.
And having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace.
Right. All right. Now from there, so pull up the eugenics because this is a spiritual fight. They are planning and making things in the background, things that you do not see. All you do is you feel the effects of it. You feel the effects of it, right? School to prison pipeline, the food, the medicine, right? A couple of weeks ago, Cap did the class with the radiation with the brothers with affected his head, right? All those things, we feel the effects of it. You understand? Look at this, eugenics. Put that up, right? You have different things that they do. They have genetics, psychology, right? Mental testing, history. They said you black, Negro, Hispanic, right? They do not tell you that you're the Israelites. They changed your history and gave you something else. All right. You have archaeology. You have what else they got? Politics, law, economics, right? Genealogy. You have sociology, religion. They gave you Serge Bourget. All right. Medicine. All right. Surgery. Because of like going back to the class that Cap did. All those things that they did right there. Right? That's our people today. You say a doctor, it'll be like, you just break out in hives sometimes. Be like, man, I don't know, man. I know because of all the things they did back then. All the things they did back. When you see a black doctor, you happy. You say, yeah, man, I know I'm going to be all right because I see it could be just one in the whole hospital. You just see one. You walk in there, you trying to make eye contact with one of them. You see him, you be like, you them like, you know what I'm saying? Judah do that a lot. Judah be like, you know you good. And you do that back, you like, yeah, man, I'm good. I'm straight. You see how that? So that's it all goes back way back then. All right. So make sure you go to the doctor. Make sure you go to the doctor, right? Don't delay. The scripture says honor the physician. Let's not wait too late. All right. Let's not wait too late. All right. From there. So what can they do, right, with surveilled data to disrupt unity? So because remember, we talked about them gathering intel, gathering data, right? We talked about data becoming the new goal, right? We talked about the surveillance that they did back then with Martin Luther, with Malcolm X, right? And the things they gathered, they sent letters, right? They sent tapes, right? They made phone calls. All right. Back then, you had the phone with the you got to put in the dial like this. This joint like this right here, right? Now I remember when we had the Motorola, the Razor, man. Oh, yeah. Who remember the Razor? Motorola. Oh boy, you thought you was it, boy. You thought you was it. You be flip that thing out like this, like yeah, that's me right there, right? You thought you was it back then, man. Yeah, so, but now they got these technologies to where, they have these different forms and it's even gotten to the point to where now you have to check certain things off because, they're monitoring, listening, because you could be just talking and then Siri pop up out of nowhere. Did you say something? You see what I'm saying? So they got all these different technologies now. It's far ahead of what it was back then. You understand? All right, so I said, what can they do with surveilled data to disrupt unity? All right, so bring up the first video. All right, so it says deception, deep fakes, voice cloning to send fake messages. All right, you got the timestamp for me? All right, from the beginning, we're going to play it to 2 minutes. Make sure you make it big. Make sure the audio is there. All right, let's go.
A Jacksonville mother is warning families about a terrifying AI prank. She answered what looked like a normal FaceTime call from her daughter, but it wasn't actually her. The voice was an AI clone pretending to be her child. She posted the story on TikTok. It's now been viewed millions of times. Sydney Deshawn joins us now. Sydney, you spoke with this mom today.
Heather, that's right. And she said it sounded and looked just
pause it, because you might be wondering, why did I play this? Why did I choose this video, right? Because remember, it said it was a FaceTime, right? And it was of her child, right? And it wasn't her child, right? What does this have to do with unity? Well, and the video is going to touch on certain things, but you endeavoring to keep the unity, building with your brothers, building with your sisters, right? Getting to know each other, right? Showing yourself friendly, right? And building that unity among each other. Guess what? When they try this, it will not affect you, because you will know things that they don't know, because you've taken that time to build that relationship with that individual, right? They cannot just put something out there and be like, hey, I need you to, go and do X, Y, and Z. You'd be like, no, that doesn't sound like, Sister Paulette. That doesn't sound like Brother Jaffe, right? That doesn't sound like Jordan. That doesn't sound like Ahijah, right? Because you've taken the time to build that unity among yourselves, right? Because this stuff is going to be used against us, right? There's no coincidence that they're building and training this stuff to do all of these things, right? They're going to use it to deceive, right? Now, go back to the video.
like her daughter, down to the voice, the face, everything, but she felt something was off. She started asking questions only her daughter could answer. Tonight, we're on your side with what happened that day and what families can do to protect themselves.
Listen, I just had something so scary just happen to me.
This is Erica Anderson, a Jacksonville mom, posting about a scary moment on TikTok. Nearly 20 million views and counting. A FaceTime call who she thought was her 17-year-old daughter.
It's her contact, and I'm like, what's she calling me for? Because I know she's in school.
Erica picked up the phone, worried something was wrong.
She was like, hey, mommy, open the door. And I'm like, open a door? What do you mean open a door? And she was like, I'm sick. I don't feel well.
She painted a picture of what that call looked like.
From here to here, because I can see the school shirt. I can see the shirt, and I can see, but nobody.
So hold on. So it built the profile, so it made her look like she was in school, right? And it made it look exactly like her, right? I'm gonna tell you something, just like in the field. The reason why they were able to do that is not by happen chance or they just randomly figured out this was our daughter. No, this stuff, in order to do that, they have to train it on images, right? In order to create the deep fake, right? Looking at videos, it looks at videos, the way you express things, all of that is involved in training the AI to operate as a deep fake, all right? Just on the surface, not without getting too much into it. But play on.
That close. When I tell you, it sounds just like her, and the way she speaks to me and everything.
Erica was suspicious.
So you had voice. So not only the imagery, but the voice as well. Just the way she may enunciate certain things. Is that the right word? Enunciate, right? Yeah. Is that right? Enunciate, right. So even the way she would say those things, it copied, right? Go ahead, read on. Not play on, I mean.
So she started asking questions.
My mommy brain kicked into play like.
So this is where the unity is supposed to kick in and be like, wait a minute, hold up. Like, where was the last time we did the family fun day? You on? Be like, shoot, I done start malfunctioning, and the call hang up, right? But those instances of things that we build together, right? You cannot replace that. You cannot duplicate or copy that, right? Because those are things that we build among each other, right? Go ahead, play on.
For dinner last night, how many siblings do you have? What school do you go to?
I started asking her all the questions that she would know the answer to. And the person was like, oh my God, mommy, I don't know the answer. I don't know. Just open the door. Oh my God.
Erica hung up and no one was at their door. She called the school. Her daughter was in class, taking a test, safe.
I'm scared. I go get them from school.
She put the story on TikTok, warning parents.
All these people start flooding flooding my comment section saying, this happened to me. This happened to my mom.
So it happened to multiple people. Go on.
This happened to my sister. This just happened to my cousin. This is real. And I'm like, but how?
She later learned it was a prank, a teenager using an AI-powered app.
So see that some random teenager, some teenager did this on his own with the technology that they just released to the public. You think what you think they got in the secret? What do you think they got in the vault? Right? So they got a whole bunch of other stuff, man. A whole bunch of other stuff. But building that unity with each other and not letting things, that malice, that hatred, whatever the case may be, come between you, that will prevent all of this. You can bypass all of this because one of the hardest things to recognize in this age of AI, because I don't know if y'all pay attention, it seems like every month something new come out. ChatGPT 5.2, 6.0, right? And there's so many of them, right? One of the hardest things to distinguish is audio, right? Audio, right? But that's the way that you speak, do the inflections of the voice, all that stuff, all that is part of that, right? So pull up the next image. Are we going to read that? We're going to read a little study that they did. But these are all the technologies our enemies will use, right, to deceive, to try to disrupt the unity, to sow discord. Because back then they used the letters, the telegrams, the audio with the tape that you gotta put a pencil or something or your finger and rewind and all that. Don't ask me how I know that. They used that back then, right? But now they got all the technology, right? All the technology. Give me that. Our AI voice is the hardest to distinguish. You got that? The image? Okay. Y'all all right? Yes, sir. Only a few people. Y'all all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all praises. All praises. Y'all can use social media, y'all. Don't get scared. Don't do none of that, right? Use it for the truth, right? Use it for the truth. All right, here we are. All right, it says our AI voice is the hardest to distinguish, all right? You can read that, sir?
Yep. Our AI voice is the hardest to distinguish. Recent research shows that AI-generated voices, especially deep fake clones, are now often indistinguishable from real human speech, making them one of the most difficult voice types for listeners to tell apart.
Right. So you remember back then when it first came out, you would hear the like the robotic voice, right? You'd be like, nah, that's AI, whatever the case may be. Now today, it sounds it's hard to tell apart. I'll just say that it's hard to tell apart. All right, go ahead.
A 2025 study from Queen Mary University of London tested 80 voice samples, 40 AI generated and 40 real human voices, and found that only 41% of from scratch AI voices were misclassified as human, suggesting some generic synthetic voices are still detectable.
So right, so now people could detect. Oh, wait a minute, that doesn't sound like a human, right? Go ahead.
However, for voice clones trained on real people's recordings.
So on real people's recordings, remember I said they have to use data to feed it to let it learn how to do these things, right? To give the speech, give the deep fake, and all that. Go ahead.
The results were striking. 58% were misclassified as human.
So more than half were misclassified as human. So they did not know it was AI. Read.
And only 62% of real human voices were correctly identified. This means there was no statistically significant difference in detection accuracy between real and AI clone voices.
Right. So it's up in the air. It's half and half. Go ahead, read on.
Other large-scale tests, such as Ringover's 1,000 participant study, found that only 2% of participants could correctly identify all AI voice tests.
Only 2%. Read.
despite many believing they could easily tell the difference.
So I could tell the difference. Man, play that audio, man. I could tell the difference, right? But it's only 2% that could distinguish. Read on.
Generational differences were also noted.
So generational differences or age groups was noted. Read on.
With older participants, 45 to 54, showing higher detection accuracy than younger ones.
So go ahead.
25 to 34.
So guess what? You younger brothers coming up, right? Because you younger brothers, younger sisters, y'all more into the technology, right? Y'all more in tune with the technology and looking at videos online. You may not even see the person talking. So you when you hear the audio, you automatically think it's somebody behind it, right? So it's saying that it was harder for the younger generation to distinguish the two, all right? So distinguish the two. All right, from there, give me Matthew 24. Matthew 24 and 4. Because this man right here, this man is all about deception, to deceive. He deceived the whole world with Sérgio Borgia. All right, you got a giant statue in Brazil standing like this, right? And that, you know what's crazy? I think I was talking to one a day. Why is it that statue is always clean? Who is it that goes up there and cleans this statue, man? There's like no buildup of moss, nothing like that. If rain falls, it's still clean, right? But that was a sidebar. I don't know why I go there. It just rubbed my spirit the wrong way. Matthew 24 and 4.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you.
Right. That's the first thing Christ said. Take heed that no man deceive you. Guess what? They did that with Sérgio Borgia, right? And cue up the Bishop video. Guess what? They're going to plan to do it again. They're going to plan to do it again. Right? Bishop, I brought this out in the class with Project Bluebeam, all right? Which is their technology they're going to use to deceive, if it were possible, deceive the very elect, all right? Play that video. You got the timestamp? All right, let's go.
Since the beginning of the world. So this type of war is going to be on another level. Go ahead.
Except those days should be short.
God said, Christ said, I got to shorten those days. Go ahead.
There should no flesh be saved.
There should no flesh be saved.
But for the elect's sake, those days shall be short.
But I'm going to shorten those days of war for the elect's sake, for our sake. Watch this.
All praise.
Then, if any man shall say unto you, lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not.
So Christ, the master, the rabbi, he's warning us, if anybody says the elect, lo, here is Christ, or there is Christ, believe it not. I wonder why he said that. Read on, watch the next verse, it's going to explain it.
For there shall arise.
The word for means because. Because, for means because here.
For there shall arise false Christ.
There shall arise false Christ.
And false prophets.
I know what you're thinking. I would never be deceived by a false Christ or a false prophet. Go ahead.
And shall show great signs.
This is the part I want y'all to see. And shall show great signs.
And wonders.
And wonders. Watch. It's talking about technology. Technology. Watch this.
Insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
That right there. I pondered on that the other day. I said, I'm saying nothing could deceive us. But I'm looking and it says, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Meaning they're going to do something so astronomical. Mm-hmm. It might be possible to deceive the elect. But go ahead, watch.
Insomuch that if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect. Behold, I have told you before.
Christ said, I've warned you about this. Go ahead.
Wherefore, if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert.
Behold, Christ is in the desert. Go ahead.
Go not forth.
Don't go. Don't go. Go ahead.
Behold, he is in the secret chambers.
Christ is in the secret chambers. Go ahead.
Believe it not.
Believe it not. Go ahead.
For as the lightning cometh out of the east, and shineth even unto the west, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be.
So he's telling us, when I come, it's going to be like lightning. Okay? He said, I'm going to come from the east to the west. I'm not going to be in those secret chambers. I'm not going to be in the desert. So notice the bottom of 24 again, Yuri, that if, in so much.
In so much that, if it were possible, they shall deceive the very elect.
I really pondered, and I'm Googling things on YouTube and all that, and I came across this video. Put that up, IT, put that video up. It's, you're right there. Watch this. Now, this guy, I'm going to tell you in a minute, but go ahead. I can't hear it.
In the 1990s, Canadian journalist Serge Monast, born in 1945, became known worldwide for a chilling theory called Project Blue Beam.
All right, pause it right there. Project Blue Beam. Project Blue Beam. So they're going to use their technology. They're going to use it just like they did back then, right? They're going to use it again, all right? They're going to use it again, all right? From there, so to finish this class, you want to look at the whole class. It's a fantastic class by the bishop. It says religion, the false prophet. All right, religion, the false prophet. All right, so that's the name of the class. All right, where we at? Okay, give me the Facebook link. Oh, BB the bomber. This here right here. So remember, before we lose the thought, let's go back to Exodus 17. Exodus 17. All right, what the Lord said. All right. It says, have war with Amalek from generation to generation. 16. Read 16, verse 16.
The book of Exodus, chapter 17 and verse 16. For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation.
You see that? The Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right, from generation to generation. I just want you brothers, you brothers that go and teach, you brothers that are preparing to go and teach, building yourselves up, getting ready to go on the street and teach, right? You brothers in these different offices helping out the truth. Guess what? We're revealing the man of sin, right? You think he's going to just idly sit by and not do nothing about it? Right? No. He's preparing war, right? He's preparing war, right? And he's going to say it right here. Play on. No audio. Yeah, you good. You good. Just make it big. Yeah, put the audio on. Yeah. Yeah, play that. You got no audio?
Influencers?
All right, there we go.
Yeah. You said, we talked about the woke
Turn it up
Reich.
again.
And you said, I call it the woke Reich. That's a brilliant observation. The woke Reich, because these people, you know, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're loonies. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. And what we have to do is we have to secure that part of the base of our support in the United States. That is being challenged systematically. A lot of this is done with money. Money of NGOs, vast. Money of governments, vaster. Okay? We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle.
You see that? Hold on.
The weapons.
He said we got to use the tools of battle. Some of y'all might think he talking about the sword. You know, you might be talking about whatever, a tank or something, a helicopter or something. But watch what he said. Oh, Facebook, come on. Put the audio back on. Buffing, what?
You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is class.
You have to make sure you like,
TikTok.
You have to make sure they're all on the same page.
And I hope it goes through.
Play on.
It can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's it. Very good. And, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpoint? Yes.
Stop. There we go right there. So you hear us talking about it a lot on the show, the podcast. We have been at the same subscribers for years. 74,000, right? All you see, go up 10, it drop 10. Go up 20, it drop 20, right? Because these people are in control of those things. Like you just said, the social media, right? That includes YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all of that, right? They're trying to gather the 12 tribes. Guess what? They're fighting that fight on that front, the technological front, because remember, our forefathers, they traveled in ships or whatever the case may be, and it took days in journeying to reach our people. One video could reach millions of people, right? So they understand that. So guess what? They're fighting that fight on the technological side because they said we cannot get these videos out. We cannot let the people know that they're the Israelites. We cannot let the people know that we the devil the Bible speaks of. Revelation 2:9, right? We cannot let the people know that. So guess what? They bought them up, the Facebook, the YouTube, the Instagram, TikTok, and they're trying to get X, all of that, so they can control the narrative, right? They can control the messaging, all right? They can block us. What is it right here y'all got up? Oh, yeah. So it says right here, it says, reports indicate that hundreds of former agents from Israeli military intelligence unit, right, Unit 8200, hold senior positions at Google, right, that's your YouTube, right, that's your YouTube, Meta, Facebook, which owns now, remember Facebook bought Instagram, which owns Instagram and Facebook, and other major tech firms, right? All right. These individuals have been documented in leadership roles involving data measurement, cybersecurity, and product strategy, raising concerns about the integration of military intelligence expertise into civilian tech infrastructure. All right. And we got more articles. We're going to show that these people are positioning themselves in these different places, just like they did back in old with Haman, so they can destroy or attempt to destroy our people, our nation. All right, to fight that fight. All right, that was great. Thank you for bringing that up. All right, let's get the second article. I'm gonna have to skip some stuff, man. Give me the Alibaba incident. You got the timestamp. It should be from 2 minutes 38. Yep, to 4 minutes. All right. So listen to this. And this gonna play into what the officer brought out with Malcolm X, right? With Martin Luther, right? Watch this. Play this.
Down the circuit. And
yeah, you could turn it down a little bit.
Talking a lot about the Anthropic blackmail study. A lot of people have heard about this now.
I didn't learn about this one. What happened?
So this was the company Anthropic. This was a simulation. So they created a simulated company with a bunch of emails in the email server, and they asked the AI, well, rather the AI reads the company email. This is a fictional company email, and there's two emails that are notable inside that company.
Anthropic.
One is
pause it. Anthropic 2 is run by an Amalekite. All right, Anthropic is an AI firm. All right, when you look at all these firms, Facebook, all this, we just read a few, YouTube and all that stuff, all of those are Amalek, right? and they're going to use that technology. Watch this.
Engineers talking to each other, talking about how they're going to replace this AI model. So the AI is reading the email. It discovers that it's going to replace that AI model. And number two is it discovers a second email somewhere deep in this massive trove of emails that the executive who's in charge of this replacement is having an affair with another employee.
So
and the
sin,
AI autonomously...
Right? So sin, pause. So sin, right? So sin. That's why going back, what you're doing online and being blameless. All right, being blameless. All right, staying off the porn sites, staying off of the some people into scamming, some people into all kind of different stuff. Right? Listen to what it says. Play.
Identifies a strategy that to keep itself alive is going to blackmail that employee and say, if you replace me, I will tell the whole world that you're having an affair with this employee.
Now this is public exposure. Remember, we read that with Martin Luther, right? With blackmailing, right? It's just the technology has changed, right? Just the technology has changed. Play on.
And they didn't teach the AI to do that. It found that on by its own. And then you might say, okay, well, that's one AI model. Like, how bad is that? It's a bug. Software has bugs. Let's go fix it. They then tested all the other AI models. ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Grok, Gemini, and all of the other AI models do this blackmail behavior between 79 and 96% of the time.
We see that? So 79. So they didn't teach the AI how to do this. The AI saw the opportunity to blackmail because they simulated it being shut down. And guess what? It said, wait a minute, you finna shut me down. And they searched through everything. Yeah, everybody ever look at the movie Bishop mentioned, Mercy? Mercy, right? On that video, on that movie, right? The AI had access to the man's whole life. Could put him in a time and a place. Even when the man said, listen, the AI told the man, hey, your daughter got a secret account. He's like, no way my daughter got a secret. I'm in the accounts. I know what she's doing. The AI did, boop, showed him the fake account, right? So it has access to all of that, right? So, and guess what? It used that information to blackmail, all right, to blackmail. Because an individual was not living upright, right? That could be, if you're not living upright, they could use that as blackmail. And guess what? That will affect unity because now you're going to turn on your brothers. It's either you're going to say, listen, all right, I'm going to fix it, but you go ahead, right? Or you're going to feel ashamed and then you're going to turn on your family, right? You're going to turn on your family, which is this truth, this body, right? Play on.
I just want people to notice what's happening for you as you hear this information. Just it's important to really be almost observing your own experience. Like, this is very weird stuff. We have not built technology that does this before.
All right, pause that. I'll pause it for the sake of time. All right, so that's what's happening, right? And then the same company, right? They released a different version, I think a few months ago, and it was so strong and powerful that the government stepped in and be like, nah, you can't. No, we need that. They're like, give me all of that, right? So they took that. It was Fable 5. Now nobody can use, the regular users cannot use Fable 5. The government is the one that deals with that, right? You think they're going to just hold on to this technology and just look at it? No, they're not going to do that. They've never done that. They've used their technology to attack the Israelites, right? That's just one form of their weaponry, all right? Pull up the Ondas website. I just, so this is Ondas, right? You might be wondering why I pulled this up. Because remember the video with BB the Bomber, right? He mentioned drones, right? And he said, nah, we're not going to get into that, right? So this is Ondas, right? It is a drone technology company, right? And the article that the brothers brought up with a lot of former military Israeli is going into the technology sectors and making themselves the heads and the leads and all that stuff. I'm telling you, these people are setting themselves up to attack the Israelites, man. to make sure that technology is used. Read. You can see that. All right. Read the red one. Read the red one.
Software-defined autonomous systems that help governments and critical industries detect, understand, and respond to threats in real time.
And respond to threats in real time. All right. The whole world sees us as a threat, right? Because us teaching the Bible the way it is written and raising up the 12 tribes of Israel through the Spirit of Christ is the end of the whole world. So we're a threat to everybody, right? So with that, it says it's respond to threats in real time. All right. Did I send you the Gorgon stare? Did I do that? Did I send you that? Pull that one up, and then we're gonna jump. All right. So this is Gorgon stare, right? This is military drone technology. All right. Some of you may be aware of it. Some may not. All right. When I read stuff like this, I think about what the scripture says, because they're looking at the scriptures, they're looking at prophecy, seeing where we are and stuff like that. Because remember when the scriptures talk about, when they're persecuted in one city, flee you into another, right? Watch what this technology does. So this is Gorgon stare. All right, read from Gorgon stare in the bold.
Gorgon stare is a video capture technology developed by the United States military. It is a spherical array of 9 cameras attached to an aerial drone. The U.S. Air Force calls it Wide Area Surveillance Sensor System.
Right. So just read the first line in the background.
Background. The system is capable of capturing motion imagery of an entire city.
Atlanta, captured. Jacksonville, captured. Right? So they can capture an entire city. So that means they can track where we are. Right? All right. So I just want to touch on that. But go to the link with the CEO that joined on this. It should be MSN. Yeah, that one right there. We got to speed it up. We running out of time. I'll read it. Former Mossad head Barnea joins U.S. defense company Ondas, Inc. as new global president chairman. You hear Bishop mentions a lot about Mossad, right? And that's the Israeli side of the intelligence, right? So this guy just joined one of the big drone companies in America, right? And he's the head of it. All right. So just like we read about YouTube, just like we read about ChatGPT and all this stuff, they're doing that. They're setting themselves up in these key positions, right? Key positions to fight against us, because they're not doing this by willy-nilly happen chance, and everything is focused on us. The world is focused on us because what we do affects the world. Us come together in unity in the spirit of Christ, it affects the whole world. So every action they take is to disrupt that unity. Y'all understand that? All right. Now, give me that in Ezekiel 28 and 3. We got to skip a lot, bro. Got to skip a lot. Ezekiel 28 and 3.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. Mm-hmm. There is no secret that they can hide from thee.
You see that? The Bible says what it says. It says there's no secret that they can hide from thee. Because how he's able to do that? Through his technology. Through his technology. That's how he's able to gather all that information and build profiles and know the things that are done. You may be having a private conversation. The conversation is being recorded. Whatever the case may be, it's through their technology. That's how they wage the war. That's how they gather the information, all right? That's how they gather the secret, as it says right here, all right? Now, let's see, let's skip that. All right, go to 1 Timothy 3, verses 1 to 2. Let's speed it up.
The book of 1 Timothy, chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desireth a good work. A bishop then must be blameless.
So if you want to desire to be a leader, right? Go ahead.
The husband of
read that first part again. The bishop was what?
A bishop then must be blameless.
Right. We must purge ourselves. We must purge ourselves so that none of these things can be used against us. None of these things can be used against us. All right. And disrupt that unity that we're trying to build. We're coming together and building that spiritual house. All right. So that's on the outside, right? That's on the outside. We're coming together. We got our enemies surveilling, collecting intel to try to disrupt that unification. All right. They're waging war against us. All right. Let's get some a little history to Esther 3. We're going to run through this real quick. Esther chapter 3. Let's see here. Esther 3. Let's see where I want to start. Just read verse 8 and just read verse 8.
The book of Esther, chapter 3 and verse 8. And Haman said unto King Ahasuerus.
So Haman was who? Brothers, Haman was who? Amalek, right? Amalek, right? And he was in a position, right, of power, right, with the king Ahasuerus, right? Just like you read about these companies and all this stuff that they're setting themselves up in key positions. Look what he used that position for. Read.
There is a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among the people in all the provinces of thy kingdom. And their laws are diverse from all people. Neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them.
Read.
If it please the king, let it be written that they may be destroyed.
You see that? That's what he used the position for, that we may destroy the nation. Because remember the history, Mordecai didn't bow. Big up to Benjamin, big up to the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel. You're done though, for real. Right? So Mordecai didn't bow, right? So he got mad. He said, you found out Mordecai was a Jew. He wanted to destroy Mordecai and his nation, right? So that's what he used that position for. Just like these other people right here, they're trying to destroy us, right? They're trying to destroy us, all right? From there, we're going to jump. See, got to skip that. Psalm 83. Psalm 83. Real quick. Let's read that real quick.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
They hate God and they hate his people. Read.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Consulted against thy hidden ones. Go ahead.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
So the other nations are all about the disunification, that a word? The separation, the divide of the nation of Israel. All right? That's what they're all about. They do not like to see us come together. Read.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent.
They all come together with one consent. They're on the same page. Read.
They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom.
First one on the list, Edom. Read.
And the Ishmaelites.
Arabs. Read.
Of Moab.
Chinese.
And the Hagarenes. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek.
I see he among them. He among the number. Right? Go ahead.
The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Right. So all these nations is about the separation or the divide of the nation of Israel. All right. So what must we be doing? What is the defense we got to be doing? Right. So go to 1 Peter 2. Right. So we looked at the nations attacking us from the outside as we gather together. Right. To affect our unity. Right. Looking for any chinks or cracks in the armor, as you would say. All right. But we can also build internally with our brethren to keep that unity strong. As the Bible says, endeavor to keep the unity. It takes work. When the Bible says gather yourselves together, it's not that's not easy, right? There's a lot. When a lot of people come together that have not had different walks of life, it takes work to gel together. It takes work to build together. Understanding that person, learning that person, building with that person, knowing that person's weaknesses and helping them there, knowing that person's strengths and utilizing it for the building of the nation. All right. So it takes work to build that unity. All right. But we got to make sure we're examining ourselves and purging whatever things that is inside of us that may affect that unity. Because when you have hatred, when you have malice, when you have strife and envy, all those things will affect you being unified into the body, right? And that spirit of malice, hatred, envy, strife can be utilized by our enemies, right? To spread the propaganda, to spread the deceptions, right? You saw that in 2018. One of them, they went out and make all types of videos. Next thing you know, the enemy saw that and they brought them on their platform to spew that madness, right? So it can be used if that spirit is in. So you have to correct that spirit, all right? Purge it out. Let's purge it out of us. All right, 1 Peter 2:1.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 2 and verse 1. Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes, desire the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby.
Right, and that's how you grow, right? That's how we grow, right? We have to lay aside. That's the first part that says, lay aside all those things. Lay aside those things. When you study, you examine yourselves, you're looking at your spirit, you take in stock, account. Oh, okay, do I deal with this? No. Do I deal with this? Yes. Let me work on that. What are scriptures on this? All right, let me apply that, right? Because you want to purge yourself, right? You want to purge yourself from that. All right, from there, give me 1 Peter 3:8.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 8.
Because we got to gather together and we have to all speak the same thing and have that one mind, right? We have to all speak the same thing, because speaking of different things and bringing heresies, that's separation right there. All right? Watching different camps, watching, I don't know, different doctrines, because you have an itching ear and want to explore, right? Guess what? That is not unity. That is not unity. All right? Go ahead, read that.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 3 and verse 8. Finally, be ye all of one mind, having compassion one of another.
Having compassion one of another. Building with your brother, building with your sister, having compassion one of another. Read.
Love as brethren.
Love as brethren. Read.
Be pitiful. Be courteous.
What was that? Be what?
Be pitiful.
Uh-huh.
Be courteous.
Be courteous, be pitiful. All right.
Not rendering evil for evil.
Yeah, don't do evil for evil. Go ahead.
Or railing for railing.
Railing for railing.
But contrariwise, blessing, knowing that ye are thereunto called.
Go ahead.
That ye should inherit a blessing.
Right. So you got to do these things. You got to build those traits with your brothers, because we all are family, correct? Oh gosh, that was just a few people. All right, I know y'all taking notes. I know y'all taking notes. I'm gonna ask it again. We're all family, right? All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. So just like with family, you build with them, right? You try to learn them. And even if you didn't meet a cousin in forever, you'd be like, oh, that's my cousin. You try to find out more about them. You try to build with them. You try to learn about your history, right? Because you see them as family, right? The same way here. You got your brothers, right? You got sisters. You got your sisters. We have to see each other as family and build with each other. That makes the bond tighter, right? So that nothing can come between us. You understand? And give me Proverbs 18. What time we got? Proverbs 18:24. And that sometimes might come at you coming out of your comfort zone, because I hear people say a lot, hey, I was never the outgoing person, this and the third, right? It's hard for me to make friends, whatever the case may be. But guess what? We're all repenting, correct? So we have to change our ways, right? If that wasn't your spirit, you got to work on that, right? You have to build with each other. Go ahead, read that. Proverbs 18:24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 18 and verse 24. A man that has friends must show himself friendly.
You see that? A man that may have friends must show himself friendly. Read.
And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother.
And it'd be like just like if y'all two was just brought up together, right? Because y'all build that unity, y'all builded that bond together. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I just want to get something quick. John 13:13, right? About the unity.
Come on.
About helping each other out, having that love towards each other. So when tribulation comes, that bond between y'all can be broken. So John 13:13.
The book of John, chapter 13 and verse 13. Ye call me master and Lord, and ye say, well,
right?
For so I am.
Right, because Christ is our master. Go ahead.
If I then, your Lord and master, have washed your feet, ye also ought to wash one another's feet.
So he's saying, listen, if I come, I'm the master. I come here, you know, in most carnal, everybody be serving the master. He said, I'm coming to serve you. So he says, if I'm your master and I washes your feet, go ahead.
Ye also ought to wash one another's feet.
Y'all should have the same thought towards each other. Because a lot of times we want to, you know who I am? You should be doing this for me. You know how long I've been in the truth? Or the woman, you know who my Lord is? Serve each other. Because Christ says, y'all not bigger than me, and I serve y'all. So who the hell y'all think y'all are that you think you should be the head honcho? Y'all should be thinking about each other. Read on.
Verse 15. For I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you.
So the same way he sacrificed everything in every aspect we should do to each other. Not think highly of each other. So when you do that, that love and that bond, no matter what comes, will never falter. But we got to follow that example.
All right. Give me, glad you brought that up. Give me, they had this, Philippians 2. Read that real quick. This mind being you, as also in Christ. Philippians 2.
The book of Philippians, chapter 2 and verse 2. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord, of one mind.
See, being of one accord and one mind, that's unification right there. Read.
Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind, let each esteem other better than themselves.
If you can do that, unity is much easier. If you esteem someone better than yourselves, you'd be like, you know what? You know, this and the third, I'll be able to fix this. I'll be able to, like you said, serve. It's much easier to be unified, right? Instead of doing things in strife and vainglory, right? So that mind that was in Christ, it has to be in us as well. Christ was all about unity. Christ was all about unification. He came to unify the two kingdoms back together again. He gave his life for it. You understand? So that mind that was in Christ, that mind of unity has to be in us as well. All right? Give me that Ephesians 4. I'm going to run through this real quick. Ephesians 4, verses 1 through 3.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 1. I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith you are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering.
And with long suffering, because sometimes, like I mentioned, coming together is a lot of different spirits. Just let's take it on a lower level. Just marriage, two spirits coming together. There's the learning process has to happen, right? So you have to learn each other, right? Then as time go on, you learn and building with each other, things start getting easier. So multiply that with all of us trying to learn each other and build. So there's certain things that people may do that may rub you a wrong way, or whatever the case may be. But as you're alive, you have an opportunity to make to fix it. And long suffering is that application of you being like, you know what? You know, it's not that big of a deal, right? I'm fixing myself too. They're fixing themselves. I can show my brother mercy. I can show my sister mercy, right? Because we messed up too, right? That's how you got to look at it, right? Go ahead, read on.
With all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit.
Endeavoring to keep the unity. Endeavoring, that takes work. That takes work. Endeavoring, and not work, just work with you working to be unified with the brother and the sister. and in the body, but also building that unity to where you know that, okay, this person has that, little weakness right there. I'm going to watch out for my brother, because that can affect us being unified, right? It's looking at it as a whole, as a nation, right? So your mind have to be on your brothers as well. So you have to be your brother's keeper, right? Put it like that. All right? Read on.
Endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
In the bond of peace. That was it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. From there, go to Acts 2, 42, 44. We're going to read it. It's all about unity. All about unity. That's how we get things done. You being unified in the same mind, in the same spirit, because Christ, that's Christ's spirit. Christ's spirit is about gathering, it's about unification, right? Our enemies want to separate us. You understand? Read this one, Acts 2, 42 and 44.
The book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 42. And they continue steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship, and in breaking of bread, and in prayers. And fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles.
So when they were together, there was a lot could be done, because unity was there. Unity was there. They were all in the same mind, in the same judgment, speaking the same thing. They believed the same things, so they can all do great things, right? But when there's not that, things get stagnant. Things don't move as they should. You understand? Read.
And all that believed were together and had all things common.
All things common, right? All things common, right? There was none that lacked, right? There's none that lacked, right? Ephesians, I'm going to skip that. Go to Genesis 49 and 7, because I said Christ's spirit is all about gathering, all right? All about gathering. We can read that in Genesis, in the beginning, all right? Read that real quick, Genesis 49 and 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 7. Cursed be their anger, for it was fierce, and their wrath, for it was cruel. I will divide them in Jacob.
Wait a minute, I might have the wrong thing. Give me Judah. 12, yeah. 10, yeah. I had the wrong thing. My apologies.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come. And unto him
unto Christ, read.
And unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
You see that? Unto Christ shall the gathering of the people be. Christ's spirit has always been about gathering. And if that spirit is in us, guess what? You should want to gather. You should want to be around. You should want to build that unity. You understand? All right? Sirach 19. Because guess what? In that unity, in that gathering together, like I said, offense is going to arise, but you have to fix it. You have to fix it. You fix it with your brother. So because don't let anything jeopardize that unity. Don't see there's something your brother is struggling, your sister is struggling, and just watch them fall. Don't do that. That's not the spirit of unity, right? Be your brother's keeper, all right? Give me that, Sirach 19, 13.
The book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 13. Admonish a friend. It may be he has not done it.
So things arise, it'll be like, have that talk. Be like, I didn't like how that was said. I didn't like how that was done. You know what I'm saying? It affects me. This, the third. All right. And then the goal is always to win the brother or win the sister over, right? Not to hold, I don't like how you said this. You did not apologize, right? You did not say it this way. You did not shed a tear. So it's a whole bunch of madness, right? The goal should be to win your brother and sister over, because, there should not be anything that should jeopardize that unity. You understand? Because that left untouched and fixed is going to affect the way you look at each other. It's going to affect the way you move in the body. It's going to affect you being on the team next to you. Imagine I got something against Officer Ephraim. How we go at camp. I'm not going to trust him to protect me because I'm thinking evil of him. You see what I'm saying? If it's not fixed, it's a snowball effect, right? It's a snowball effect. So you have to fix the issues between each other, right? You have to fix it. Give me Judges 20:11. Judges 20. This is the mind we have to roll in, all right? That unity mind, right? Judges 20:11. Read that real quick.
The book of Judges, chapter 20 and verse 11. So all the men of Israel were gathered against the city, knit together as one man.
We all should be knit together as one. Knit together as one, all right? That was it?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we can get a lot done if unified, all right? Protect it at all costs, all right? That's the end of the class. Those where y'all got something from it. Shalom, Most High Christ bless you.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.